Hello Master Coding family, and welcome to Architecture Patterns course. I decided to start this course because we have started the dependency injection app course, and we need to learn some basic architecture patterns like MVC, MVP, and MVVM. So welcome again, and let's start with the course. We will see these concepts, the MVVM, MVC, MVP, in the dependency injection app that we are already started the course and that we are working on it. In the food recipes app that we are going to start it in the next couple of days, that implements the MVVM, Dagger, Hild, and Retrofit, and we will start a shop app with Firebase, also include these patterns, and we will learn Kotlin course from zero to hero. These are the next courses that we are going to learn. Now, let's go and learn the patterns that we are going to implement to our applications. First of all, why we need to use patterns and why we are making these patterns. Think about you are a developer in a company and you are very smart and you are making your own codes. And you teaches your friends how to make a pattern, a pattern of coding, and you need to implement it with your friends. So you learn them correctly and you work on the same project and the same way of thinking. You call this patterns and this way of thinking and this way of writing the code the happy cat pattern. So you decided, you with your friends, to make a pattern called the happy cat pattern. And you work correctly with your friends and they know how to use your codes and you know how to use their way of patterns and writing of codes. Now, think that you are and you need to sell this code to another company. So you and your friends with the happy cat pattern and the codes, and you need to deliver this code and sell this code to another company. Or a company need to contribute with your project and enter this project, but they are unable to write or understand the happy cat pattern because you and your team only know the pattern, this way of writing the codes. So what is the solution? The solution is making them in a single and unified way of writing the codes. Developers invented single patterns to write the codes. They are called architecture patterns. This way, it's very simple to understand why you need to use architecture patterns. Now, forget development, forget coding. If you have finished the gym and you are very thirsty and you need to drink water, you have many ways. First of all, in order to get the water bottle, you go to the supermarket, you open the refrigerator, you get the water bottle, and you pay. So you open the refrigerator, you get the water bottle, and you pay. So you did everything. Another way or another option, you can do it with going to the restaurant or a coffee shop and you demand from a lovely waiter to get the water. So you request the water, the waiter will go to the refrigerator and you will pay. So the waiter in this case goes and get you and give you the water bottle. The third way is going to the vending machines at the gym or any place and you request from the water machine to give you a water bottle. So you insert the coin, you request water, and machine will release a bottle. These are the three concepts. These are the three different ways. The first one, you are the view, and the model is the bottle, because you are requesting. What is the thing you are requesting? You are requesting a bottle of water. So model is bottle, the view is you, and the controller you, because you go, you open the refrigerator, you got the water bottle, and you pay. In the second way, you requested a bottle of water, and this is the model. View is the same because you are you, and the presenter here is the waiter. So the waiter acts as presenter who go to the refrigerator and get you a water. Okay? So the third one, the third way is you are the view, the model is the bottle of water, and there is a view model which is binding. So you are waiting, you inserted the coin, the water bottle goes down, and in this way, in this case, the vending machine did not need to know who you or for whom it will serve. Okay, so you are waiting the vending machine in order to release the bottle. So you are binded to it. This is the concept of binding. You are binded to the vending machine. You are waiting for the vending machine in order to respond, releasing this bottle, a bottle of water. Okay? So the first one is a pattern called MVC, Model View Controller. The model is the bottle of water. The view, you are the viewer, and the controller because you are you. Because you pay, you get the water, and you open the refrigerator by yourself. You did everything. Okay? The second one is MVP. You are the view. You request to get a model, which is a bottle, and there is a linkage between this, you and the bottle, which is the presenter, and in this case, it is the waiter. And the third model is MVVM, Model View Model. This case, you inserted the coin into the machine, you request the water, the vending machine takes about 10 seconds in order to respond and to give you and release the water bottle. The vending machine did not know, and it is not requested to know you, because it will give you only the water bottle according to your request. Okay? Think about the second one, the MVP, because the waiter needs to know you, because a waiter needs to know on which table, on which customer requested water. Okay, so the first one, no need, because you are making everything by your own self, so you know everything. And the cashier and they didn't need to know you, because you are doing everything. The refrigerator, the water bottle, you get them and you pay. The second one, they need to know you for whom they are serving, so the water, because they need to get the water bottle to the correct table and to the correct customer. The third one, there is no need to know you, because if you request the water bottle, you insert the coin, and no need to see the vending machine to acknowledge you or recognize you, because it is just executing what is requested. Okay? Back to the coding, back to Android and application development. how this will work, these patterns works. The first one, we have like a view, we have a button, or you have a text view, or whatever you want. The view and the controller are on the same class, and we are requesting model, we are requesting data from database, from network, from whatever you want. The data request model. So remember it, guys. Model is the data that we need to reach. The view is the thing, the widgets that we have displayed into the app. And the controller in this case is the main activity, or the activity that these views are represented. So in the MVC model view controller, the view request from the controller, and the controller goes to the model, get the data back, and so the data now are the data is on the controller, and the controller delivers it the view. This is the architecture of MVC. Now in MVP pattern, we will see that the view represents the widgets inside the Android application, which is the widgets, the text views, the button. Now, the view will contact the presenter. You remember the waiter? And the presenter will contact the model, which is the refrigerator in the example. So the view, you are the view, telling the waiter, I need water. The presenter go to the refrigerator and get the data from the refrigerator, and this data represent the button. The third pattern is MVVM. The view request from the view model to get the data from the model and the database or network. This request comes back as a response, and the view model is able now and holding the data. But you see that there is no linkage between the view model and the view, because view is binded to the view model. So remember the vending machine. If you insert the coin and you request water bottle, the vending machine, after releasing it, it didn't care about if you took the water bottle, or your friend, or your brother, or any person on the earth took the water bottle. And also it didn't care if any people or anyone or you took the water bottle. It just executing the request. It just executing the orders. You press the water bottle is going down. But it didn't care if you took it or your friend or any person took it. So the view model get the data, and the view binding with the view model, it took place here. In order to the view will be displaying data instantaneously when a view model get data. So view is displaying data after receiving the view model data instantaneously. Okay, so this is an introductory lesson about the patterns. In next courses, next videos, we are going to learn about every step, every pattern, step by step, using a real Android app. So we will work, as I promised you in all my videos, to make an app, an execution, and practical example on every topic that we have made. So thank you guys. I hope you rate us 5 stars on Udemy, subscribe to our YouTube channel, rate us 5 stars on Play Store Master Coding application. We are going to implement the MVC pattern in a real Android app. So, hello my friends and welcome. We have seen in the previous video that the view contacts the controller and the controller contacts the model, and in turn the model sends the data back to the controller. The controller updates the view with the corresponding data. This we will learn how to implement it in Android Studio. Let's move to Android Studio. Let's create a new app called Patterns app. And this is the main activity, and this is the XML. And it's an empty activity. Now, we need to implement the MVC, Model View Controller Pattern. Our application, it's very simple. We need to create a button that the user, when he clicked it, it will display a message inside the text. It updates the text and display a new text inside the text view. So our application contains a button and a text view. It's very simple, and the target from this application and this video is to learn the implementation of MVC pattern. We will update this app later on in the next videos using the MVP and the MVVM. Let's start with the MVC. We have a text view here, and I need to drag and drop a button. And this button will act, as I told you, when the user clicks it, it will update the text view from the model. So remember, in the MVC, there is a view which contacts the controller, and the controller in turn contacts the model. Model gives back to the controller the data, and then the controller updates the view. So you remember the man and the example of man who needs to drink water. And the first case, he goes to the snack, open the refrigerator, get the water, and pay. So he did everything by himself. And in the same way, the MVC will do it as its own. So the MVC here and the view and the controller would be the same, which is the main activity. So inside the main activity, we have created the button and text view. I need to create a class. This class represents the model. I will name it as my model. And this model will act as a database or a network connection like clouds. But think about using models. When I say model, data model, think of it as like a database. Think of it as networking, like bridging between networking and cloud data, and getting data from clouds, from internet. So we have learned before how to use it using the retrofit. But as I told you, the concept of this app to understand the MVC pattern. I will consider my database is a class, and it is a model, and I will create it as a very, very basic by using the constructor and object creation by using constructor, and it's very simple. My model will get 2 int and 1 string. The first string is the app name, and the second int is app downloads, and the third is an int app rating. I will create the getters and setters and then create the constructor. The first case, the getters here, and the second thing I need to implement is the constructor. So guys, it's very simple. Think of model as the database, and we are going to get the data from it. So the constructor here and the getters and setters. It's very simple. Back to the main activity. I will create a new method. I will name it as public and it will return as my model, and I will name it as get application from a model. The type of the returning type of this method is my model. It is an object of my model, and it is returning an object containing a string and 2 integers that we have previously created, and returning. And in this way, I am making a new model. So I am making a new object. The string is master coding application. The second integer would be 900,000 and 4.7 the rating. But the integer 4.7 is not an integer. I will remove it for now, or we can make it as float here. And these are the real numbers for our official application. So you can download it from Play Store, master coding application. And we are almost 1 million user with rating 4.7. Now, this is the text and this is the button. I need to add on click. So we have to type, we can implement in 3 ways the click listeners, but I will show you, like some people like to implement the on-click listener, the on-click events and handle them by using the XML. I will implement it here, and at the end of the video, I will implement the listeners. Okay, so we have 2 ways. The first way using XML, as I have used here, and creating the method and passing the view as a parameter inside the method. And the second method, I need to make it and configure it in the end of this video. But concentrate with me on the goal of using like application and why we are creating this application, because the patterns. Okay, so the text view, I need to initialize it with the button. I need to initialize the text views and the button, and here we are going to update the text view. What we are doing, where is MVC? You remember, guys, that we have MVC. We have M model, which is my model in our application here. It's called my model, and it is represented by a class having 3 parameters, variables, 1 string and 2 integers. And we have a view, which is the text view here. You see, guys, the view. We are using the view inside the method, and we are passing the view inside the arguments of this method, and the controller in this case is our main activity. So guys, we have seen that our main activity acts as a controller. Our view in this case is the text view, and the model is my model. In conclusion, MVC, model view controller, the view, the text view, and the button requests from the controller, from the main activity. I need to go and get the data by using the get app from model method. So we are requesting using the method get app from model, and the controller goes and contacts the model, my model, getting back the data get app from model, and then display the data inside the text view. So this is the MVC pattern. It's very simple, but I need to tell you something which is not good. MVC is not used. So the big companies and the professional coders do not use MVC. It's simple, and many projects we have used in many projects we have used MVC. So it's very simple, but many people prefer not to use MVC, and many companies prefer not to use this MVC. Okay, now I'm just making the second way of implementing the click listeners. I'm just moving it from the XML and pasting it inside the Java codes. Okay, so guys, I hope you understand MVC. We have implemented the my model, which is the model. The main activity is controller, and the view is text view. In this video, we are going to create the app with the MVP pattern. So, hello guys, and welcome again. First of all, let us organize the packages. We will separate them into utilities and UI packages. I will create a new package called UI and a new package called util. I will paste my model as I will refactor and move my model to util. And I will make a new package called UI, and I will move my main activity to it. Okay? Sometimes Android Studio will take time to display it inside the package. Okay? So don't worry. Okay. It's done. Now, in order to implement to create the pattern of MVP, we need the presenter, of course. So I will create a new class inside the UI. It's called presenter. And inside the presenter here, it will act as presenter. I like to comment some steps in order if you want to the code, and if you want to revise the code, you can know what are the steps and why we use this class, this method. So I love comment. If you don't like commenting, please tell me in the comments below. So I love making the comments in order to make sure that the ideas and everything is delivered to you, and you are able to understand everything. Now let's link the app presenter. I have named it as app presenter. I will link the presenter with the view, which is the main activity. Okay, and there is an interface between the app view, the interface which is called app view, and there is an midway between the presenter and the activity. It's done. This midway is linked by this interface. I will name it as app view, and this is the linkage between the presenter and the view. As I told you, I will create a new method called getNameApp. Now, app view, I'm making an instance from the interface that we have created. So I'm linking the app presenter with the app view, okay, with this interface. Remember guys, this is an interface midway between the presenter and the view. So link instance, the app view, the second one is the linkage between the presenter and the model. So as I told you, the presenter goes to the model and get the data back and handle it. Exactly as the same as the example where you ask the waiter in the restaurant to get water, and the presenter, which is the waiter, goes to the refrigerator, and which is the database, and get the bottle, which is the model, the data you need in this case. So this is the linkage. So we have linked the presenter with the model by get app from model, a method, and we have linked the app presenter with the interface, with the view via interface called app view. Okay, and we need now linkage between the presenter and the main activity, as I told you, calling the interface. Now we are going to call the interface by a new method called getAppDetails. AppView.onGetAppName, and here we put the results from the model. So passing here the results from database. Okay, this class is the presenter, getting the data from model and passing it to the interface that it is related to the view. Okay, to the main activity. It's very simple. And we have used the get app from model, and I need to get the app name. So till now I need to get the app name. Okay, I have missed that get app name. On get app name, it need to pass parameter strings. It takes parameter strings, so it is solving the error now. Okay, it's very simple, and here I will make a summary for what we have done. The view in this case, it's the text view and the button, which is the main activity. And where is the view? Where is the binding? The binding is done with the MVVM. So the view, which is the activity, with the view, text view, and button. The second is the model. We see that it is the same as the MVC, which is my model class. But here in MVC, controller is main activity, and the presenter here in the MVP, which is the presenter class. And it's a helping interface, which is called app view. Okay, so it's very simple. In the main activity, we need to implement the app view interface, which telling that hey, I need to connect with you. I need to connect with the interface. So the interface between the app presenter and the view is done by app view, which is an interface midway between them. Okay, we are implementing it, and this is the method that we are obligatory need to implement it on get app name. And the instantiating the presenter, app presenter equal app presenter this. Okay, it's very simple here because we are passing it. Okay, now let's solve the error here. I will remove copying it, making it well clear, and when the user click the button, it will call the app presenter and will call the get app name, which in turn calls the model view and pass it to the interface, and this interface will give it to you directly. So calling the presenter to get data from database. It's very simple. Now I need to set the text, but first of all I need to tell you very important notes. Calling the presenter to get data from database is done by onClick, so no linkage between activity and model anymore. So the activity didn't know where to get model, where to get data. It's the function of the presenter. Okay, so when you ask the waiter to get water, you are not familiar from where he will get the water. Where is the location of the refrigerator? Where are the water are located? Maybe it's not in the refrigerator. Maybe it's stored in packages or whatever you want. So you are not able to know where is the data. You are not your own business to get the data. Now, run the application and you get this, and our application is working fine. We have learned in this video the MVP pattern. We have implemented the my model previously, and the view activity and the presenter. We have created the presenter and its own helping interface. Thank you guys. I hope you benefit from our videos. If you want us to make new tutorials and keep our Udemy channel, Udemy course and YouTube channel alive, subscribe, rate us 5 stars on Udemy, and don't miss to download our official application, Master Coding. In this video, we are going to implement the MVVM pattern. Hello, my friends, again. We are going to implement the MVVM by implementation, by what this means. So first of all, let us remove the app presenter and everything related to the presenter, because we are updating the previously created app with MVP pattern. We have seen the MVC, and then we updated the app to configure and cover the MVP pattern, and now we are going to implement the MVVM to this application. So our application is very simple. It's just a button. The user click it, displays the app name from the database. Okay, so you can think about database as a class, as a database, SQL, SQLite. You can think about it as networking, cloud storage, and whatever you want. So I'm representing it by the simple way. I'm not making it a very complex to understand it. Now search on Google for view model. You will get a life cycle. And this is the Android developer site. And these are the implementation. You see there is an optional and annotation processors, and some for tests, some for dependencies, injection. But till now we need to get these two, and later on I will add a new dependency. And I will show you the differences and the errors that may counter you while developing, and it's very simple to solve it. So first of all, we need the lifecycle view model and the live data. Okay, I will click sync now, and everything should work fine. So we have implemented the library of view model and the live data. Some people asked me why we need to use live data. we are going to lecture it and see the differences between live data and mutable live data. So don't worry, we are going step by step. So I like making comments, as I told you, in order to review the code and see every step by step. Now let's create the view model class. So first of all, we have implemented the dependency as a first step. Second step, let's create an app view model, a view model class that extends view model. So this is the link. This is a view model link. So this class plays the role of view model. Okay. So if we go back to the course, you'll see the view model link between the view and the model. So this class will play the roles of connecting the database with the view. So first, the third step is connecting view model with database. Everything that we have seen in the previous patterns, we need to make connections. We need to connect the presenter with the model and then connect it with the database. To the main activity. And in the same way, we are going to connect the view model with database. But remember, guys, we are working as an example of the vending machine. The person who stands on the vending machine, insert the coin, request the water bottle, and then the water bottle goes down. But the vending machine is not responsible for delivering it to you. And they didn't care about if you took the water bottle or not, and if you took it, or your brother or your friend or any person on the will took it. So it is not responsible for delivering. It's just viewing. It's just getting the data, but you are responsible, and the same responsible for getting the water bottle, and you are the listening. So in this way, the main activity will listen for the live data and request the data from view model. The fourth step is creating live data. So the third step is connecting view model with database and creating new object, inserting data. The fourth step is live data and creating the live data. So what is live data? Live data, we have two types, the live data and the mutable live data. We see here that there is in the methods that are available for live data, we cannot post or set. So the post and set value are the things that characterize the mutable live data. So the mutable live data allow you to set and change and post and set the live data. So you are able to change the live data. For our example, we need to use the mutable live data because I'm going to set and post the data on the mutable live data. Okay, so live data, think about it as the vending machine that is displaying what it is getting. So, and displaying what it released. Okay, so it is keeping updating. It is from its name, it is live data. It's getting the latest data available from the database and from the database and data source. The fifth step is connecting view model with the main activity. It's just showing you how to connect it, but it is not connection by means of connection. It's just displaying the live data. It's just a vending machine that released a bottle of water, and it's telling every person that it is available to get then the bottle that it is released. So just telling us that the bottle is released. you are going to get the bottle from this vending machine. So the live data and the view model, I need you to understand this idea. The live data, which is inside the view model. And the view model is not responsible for delivering you the data. It is just displaying and just getting the data and stored it inside the live data and the mutable live data. The main activity, you in the example, is responsible for getting the released water bottle. And in this activity and this example, the main activity is responsible to get the data from the live data through the view model. So the main activity is its responsibility is listening to the live data, not the view model responsible for delivering the data. It is just making the connection and displaying the rules. I need to add the life cycle extensions, okay? Because here we have seen that the view model providers needs the dependency. So it's very important to see and solve the errors that may encounter you. And another error that view model providers is deprecated. So what is the solution? The solution, it's very simple. I'll show you in the next couple of minutes. Now, I'm telling the view model providers, which it is from its name, it is it's providing the view model of this activity and the view model of, and we are going to say and to define where is our view model. And so we get app view model, and we are telling that app view model plays the role as a view model. So instead of using deprecated things or methods, we are going to solve this error by removing the S, the view model provider, and put this the same way and insert a new. So we are creating a new view model provider and passing the owner of it is this activity. And then we are telling that our view model, a class that plays the role of view model, it's called app view model. Guys, it's very simple. Just I hope you understand it. And the last step is listening and observing the changes to the live data. As I told you in the example, the vending machine just releasing the water bottle, but it is not its responsibility to deliver it to you. So in the same way that the view model gets the data, but it is not responsible for delivering it to the main activity. So the main activity responsibility is to get and listen to the changes and observing the changes to the live data. So app view model mutable live data, so we are accessing the mutable live data, and we are observing any change inside this mutable live data. So any change occurs in the live data, go and do this. What we are going to do is updating the text view to any changes. So text view.set changes. We are decoupling the main activity, and we are the main activity from the connections, from the UI logic. So the main activity now, it's not responsible for connection with the database, and it is not responsible for making the connections and ensure where to get the data from. Its responsibility is just listening for any changes that occurs in the live data that is presented in the view model. Now let's run our application and see our magic. And in this way, we have correctly implemented the MVVM pattern. And congratulations, guys. It's a very amazing pattern, and I hope you understand it correctly. We are going to learn about view binding. Hello, my friends, again. View binding is a feature that allows you to more easily write code that interacts with views. Once a view binding is enabled in the module, it generates a binding class for each XML layout file presented in that module. An instance of binding class contains a direct references to all views that have an ID in the corresponding layout. In most cases, view binding replaces find view by ID. What does this mean? In order to create, we see in the app, in order to create any widget like button or text, we need to instantiate it, and we need to write on create like find view by ID, and then add the ID of the widget. So we go to the layout here, and we see that there is a ID of it and ID of the text view, ID for the button and ID for the text. And the linkage between the Java file and the XML file is done by using the find view by ID. And this is the linkage. The view, but why we are going to use the view binding, and what is the usage of it? Think about making an app that contains around 20 or 30 widgets inside a single layout, and you have many layouts. So you are around making 100 or 200 views, widgets. Find view by ID, find view by ID. And the very important thing that you didn't use the view binding in fragments also. So what are the differences from a view by ID? So one person told me that, okay, I write 100 times find view by ID. What is the problem? The problem is the view binding is null safety. Since view binding creates direct references to views, there is no risk of a null pointer exception due to an invalid view ID. And also type safety, the fields in each binding class have types matching the views they reference in XML file. That this means there is no risk of class cast exceptions. So let's go and implement and transform this code to view binding. We have many things and many libraries to make view binding, but the most popular is butter knife. But there is a small bad news about it, because this tool is now deprecated. So if you go to github/Jack Wharton and butter knife, you will get that this tool is now deprecated. Please switch to view binding. So let's go to view binding. They are telling us that about the view binding, and the view binding is a tool and feature and part of Android Jetpack. So let's go and implement the view binding. View binding, I will copy this, the setup instructions here, telling us that you need to enable the view binding build option in the model view. So back to Android Studio, we go to here, the module, and we paste it underneath the compile options. So I will increase the size here and paste it. And I will click on sync now. Now our application is ready to use the view binding. So we go to the layout, and ensure that every widget has an ID. So button here, it has an ID button, and text view here has an ID text view. In order to use correctly the view binding, you need to ensure that every widget, every single widget has an ID. And it's very important, guys, because many people make problems and errors with this. And we go up and we click on Alt plus Enter. We see here Alt plus Enter, override resources. Sorry, no. So maybe it will not show you the option of converting it. Alt plus Enter. So it's very simple, guys. No need. You have this constraint layout. We need to insert here the tag of layout, the tag of it. So not here, I will insert it here. Okay, so I need to surround our layout with a layout tag, and then I will add the layout. Okay, so our layout, the previous layout, is here, and it is surrounded by the layout, and it is called like this. Okay, these two lines ensure that Android Studio will, and Android application and ViewBinding will understand that it is a layout and ready to be view binded. Okay, in this way we correctly implement the view binding. Now let's go to our main activity. This is the documentations, and we need to make binding classes. So go to main activity. I will remove this, and I will remove every widget, and on create also I will comment it like this in order to see the on click. And here I need to make a class for view binding. So back to the main activity and the documentation of view binding. We see that the private result profile binding, this is the example, and we see that the name of the layout is result profile. So result profile binding, I will name it as this. So the main activity binding, we need to add binding. I have added like this, data binding. Okay, main activity binding, or activity main, you can name it as you want. Activity main binding, and I will name it as binding. I will remove this set content view and equal to activity main binding dot inflate, and I'm going to inflate the get layout inflator. So the layout inflator will view equal to binding dot get root. Okay, or you can make it as set content view to view. Okay, so how to solve the get root error? We go to the dependencies, the Gradle, builder to Gradle, and I need to make the data binding because I need to show you the capabilities of the data binding and the view binding. So I will sync now. And my target of this application is to show you the power of using view binding and data binding. Now, everything is working fine. Now, in order to call any widget inside the layout, I just type binding and a button. I need to set on click listener a new view on click listener, and the method that we were calling when we used the app button is app view model.get app name. Again, if you need to call any widget inside the layout, we need to paste and write binding. So binding, I need to call the text view and update the text view with the set text with the string. Now our application has implemented the view binding. Now let's run the application and see what happens. And let's run it to see how our code works. It's telling us there is a duplicate error attribute. Okay, let's solve this by removing the duplicate errors from here. I will remove this because it's found above this attribute, and the tools also is founded here. So we need to remove this or this. Let's run the application and see how it works. And this is our application and it's working fine. So this is the benefit of using the view binding. This is the small benefit of using view binding and data binding. Now let's learn what is the big benefit from using this type of patterns and this type of view binding. You remember that our application is using here with on click the app view model.get name, and then the app view model will go to the mutable live data and observe for any changes and set the text view for any changes. Okay, the view binding allows you not to write all of these codes. It's just simple writing inside the XML. So also the view binding will bind the data also. Think about that XML will make the logic and listening for any changes. So this text view will listen for any changes inside the view model. How to do this? We go up here underneath the layout and we put data and we close it like this. Okay, and this field inside XML will contain the data, and we are going to tell the XML that, hey, go and observe and listen for any changes inside the text view and the view model. How to do this? We start by typing variable, and the name of the variable is called view model. I will name it as this because I will show you, and this indicates that we are going to get the data from the view model, and it's observing the view model. So this is the package. Start by the package, master coding, patterns applications, and I need to specify where is the view model. If we go to the hierarchy, we see that the app view model inside the UI package. So the UI, and I will set the app view model where it is. Okay, it's very simple. This is the location of the view model. Now we scroll down to the text view because we need to update it and make it updated to the live data, the mutable live data. We start by making add. So this will allow you not to use the observe patterns and observing the live data inside the main activity or the Java classes. You can do it here by typing add and the view model and the app, get app name, or you can specify the live data. What is the name of the live data? We go to the app view model and it is called mutable live data. So back to here and I will name it as mutable live data. And mutable live data, and it is not accessible because we didn't specify here as it is public. I make it as public, and the view model, it will be solved. Now let's close it and let's see how to use this. So let's go back to the main activity and remove the observe pattern. Okay, this is the observing, listening to the live data, and I will remove it because we have implemented the view model and data binding here. And I'm telling that this text view, the text view with ID text view, will be listening to any changes occurs to the mutable live data that we have specified here. Now let's assign to the main activity the observing, and let's say that, hey, main activity, the XML will do the observing stuff. So binding dot set the view model to, let me see if we have set it. Okay, binding dot set the view model. I'm telling that app view model is doing this, and inside binding dot set life cycle owner to this. Okay, I'm telling here, listening and observing the changes, I'm telling the activity or the view binding will do the job of observing. The view binding with text view. Okay, so the text view will be listening to the live data by doing this. Now let's remove also the binding with let's update the binding with the button, and let's remove the set on click listener in case, so the app will be directly understand that it is going to do the work. So our button is when it is clicked, it is calling the app view model dot get app name. Back to the XML. Let's see how to write it. We will put here on click listener, on click, sorry, attribute, and we will do as the same before, up at and put two curly braces, and we will use the lambda, which is telling that we are going to use a function. And what is the name of the function? I will go here. It is an app view model dot get app name. So this is the view model and I'm getting the app name. The variable above is a view model, which is representing this. So no need to put app view model. We will use the variable name here, and it is called view model. So because this method is inside the view model, we can use it, and we need to add get app name. Okay, in this way we have added the view binding and data binding to our application. So our text view will be updated directly from the view model, and the bottom will be directly updated and getting the function to do by calling the viewModel.getName. Again, I will remove the binding from here. So our application, after making a clean architecture, no need for many codes inside the main activity. It's just making 3 or 5 lines of codes. So no need to make more and much complex and not clean architectures and not clean codes inside the main activity. So let's run our application and see how our learning of a clean architecture and these patterns acts and behave. So I will click the button and it's giving me the name. It's a clean architecture. You see, guys, that our main activity not using and not hard coded. It is just simple and clean architecture, and it's very easy. So I hope you benefit from this course. I suggest to make more practice and you open Android Studio and start building your own apps by this architectures and patterns. And there is a homework. I will post it in the next videos. So I hope you write it down correctly. So thank you, guys. I hope you benefit and understand clean architecture and architectural patterns and how to write clean codes. See you next videos. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and rate us 5 stars on Udemy and download a master coding application. See you next videos.